From Keanu Reeves' emotional statement at the John Wick 4 premiere to Hollywood's most notable personalities paying tribute to one of their own, Keanu Reeves is heartbroken over the death of his John Wick co-star, Lance Reddick. Lance's death has sent shockwaves across the entertainment world, and now everyone's remembering the legendary actor.
Welcome to the Continental. How may I help you?
Starting with the man of the hour, Keanu Reeves. Keanu lost a dear friend and colleague a week before John Wick 4 was set to release worldwide. The actor was understandably emotional during the movie's premiere on March 20th, only 3 days after the tragic loss of Reddick. Entertainment Tonight caught up with Keanu and asked him to say a few words about the late actor, and honestly, I can't help but feel for him. A teary-eyed Keanu took a small pause and said a few words in Reddick's honor, calling him a beautiful person and a special artist.
Lance is a very beautiful person, a special artist, and his grace and dignity, his shining light of character.
You might know Reddick from Netflix's Resident Evil, where he played Albert Wesker, or from the John Wick movies. But everyone first fell in love with him in HBO's The Wire. Sure, he's been in The Fringe and Law & Order Special Victims Unit, but his performance as Cedric Daniels in The Wire was nothing short of brilliant. In fact, Lance was one of the reasons I kept watching the series when others gave up because it was too slow. In addition to being a great actor, Lance will always be remembered for being a genuinely good human being, a dedicated family man, and Keanu, director Chad Stahelski, and film star Lawrence Fishburne, and everyone else from the John Wick cast and crew made that very clear. After the John Wick 4 premiere, Keanu and Chad released a joint statement to Variety, remembering their friend Lance. In the statement, the pair revealed that they were both deeply heartbroken, saddened by Lance's unexpected passing, and that he was an absolute joy to work with. Lance's character, Charon, is one of the most captivating personalities in the franchise, and it always felt like there was more to him than met the eye, as if he knows more about the world than even John himself.
Put your weapon down.
He's excommunicado.
Do you expect him to make it out?
$14 million bounty on his head. Every interested party in the city wants a piece of it. I'd say the odds are about even.
All of that was made possible by the brilliant collaboration between Chad and Reddick. The director told The Hollywood Reporter that Reddick mentored him and the crew on the first day of shooting, helping them craft the character into what we saw in the completed product. Chad said that, as a filmmaker, he's always looking for the most collaborative artists to work with, and that Lance was the embodiment of that. At the time of his death, the two had been friends for nearly 10 years, ever since they met on the set of the first John Wick film back in 2014.
The 11 Combat Master in combination with the 9mm Major. 125 grain, 1425 feet per second. Serious business.
Since then, the pair have worked on several projects together, and Chad will always remember their time together in a positive light, the way he would for a family member that had passed away. On the flip side, Reddick equally loved working with Chad and Keanu, and he had a particular soft spot for the nicest man in Hollywood. Back in December of 2021, Lance told Vulture that Keanu's very spiritually advanced. Hard to disagree there. Clearly, Reddick adored Keanu, the same way Keanu adored him. But now, let's get back to the John Wick premiere on March 20th for a second. Everyone went into the theater, waited excitedly for Chad and Keanu to introduce the highly anticipated fourth chapter, and when Reddick's first on-screen appearance came, everyone in the audience started clapping for him. It's a testament to the legacy he's left behind, and speaks to the love his fans will always have for him. Turns out, a new addition to the franchise also bonded with Lance as well. Legendary Japanese actor Hiroyuki Sanada has no scenes with Reddick in the latest installment, which by the way is nearly 3 hours long. But even though Charon and Shimazu Koji never share a dialogue with each other, Sanada revealed that Charon was one of his favorite characters from all 4 movies. Since they don't share any scenes together, Reddick and Sanada didn't interact much during the film's production, but Sanada did see Lance during the press junket and instantly knew that he was a kind soul. When Sanada learned that Lance had passed away, he was beyond shocked and saddened. Because sure, Lance was super talented, but most important of all, he was one of the most positive and kindest people people around. It's a tremendous loss when someone like that dies, so Sonata hopes that his performance as Charon lives on and that people continue to remember him for decades to come. And then there's Derek Kolstad, who created the John Wick franchise. Derek was brought to tears when he heard the unfortunate news. He and Reddick became fast friends after the first film, and like everyone else I've mentioned so far, Derek too said that Reddick was a great actor, but a better man. Derek was heartbroken by the loss, much like executive producer and Lionsgate Motion Picture Group chair Joe Drake. Joe was at the South by Southwest Music Festival when Chad called him and told him the terrible news that Reddick had died. The shocking news stopped Joe in his tracks, and he immediately realized that a great man had just left the world. John Wick 4 will be one of the last movies Lance will ever appear in, along with a franchise spin-off, Ballerina. Veteran actor Ian McShane, who will also appear in Ballerina, said he was in a state of shock and disbelief about Reddick's death, and his colleague Lawrence Fishburne echoed his feelings on the red carpet, saying that Lance was the heart of the John Wick movies in many ways, and that the entire cast and crew had just lost their brother. Like Keanu and Kolstad, Fishburne was understandably emotional during his statement and said that Reddick would have wanted the entire team, as well as the entire world, to enjoy his work in John Wick 4. As a result, the film's been dedicated to the late actor, and every member of the production team wore blue ribbons to the red carpet in his honor. What a beautiful and touching sentiment.
He's great in the movie, and we just hope that people enjoy it. We, dedicate the film to him at this point and his family. It's just, right? Life is hard sometimes.
The rest of Hollywood had a lot to say about the late actor as well, including his former cast members from The Wire, especially actor Wendell Pierce, who played Detective William Moreland. Pierce took to social media to express his grief on the passing of his friend, writing that Reddick was as talented an actor as he was a musician. Wait, did I not mention that Lance studied classical music while he was at the University of Rochester? Well, now you know. Anyway, Wendell's only one of countless celebrities paying tribute to the actor. Halle Berry, James Gunn, Viola Davis, Joe Manganiello, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, I could go on, have all honored Lance with kind thoughts and words. But I saved the best tribute for last, one that came from Lance's wife of 12 years, Stephanie Reddick. Stephanie was overwhelmed by the outpouring of love and affection coming from all social media platforms. But best of all, she even gave a shout out to the fans of the video game Destiny. In case you didn't know, Reddick was a prolific voice actor who lent his voice to a slew of projects, including Quantum Break, both Horizon games, Destiny 2, and its expansions. In Destiny, Lance voiced the character Commander Zavala, and when fans of the series heard the news, they held virtual vigils and memorials for the actor within the game's fanbase and community. I've gotta say, it's incredibly sweet, and it goes to show you just how big of an impact a voiceover actor can have on the gaming community. We'd like to dedicate this video to Lance Solomon Reddick, an inspirational actor, musician, and an all-around wonderful human being. Rest in peace, Lance.